Hi Beta, this is a review of your chanter lesson from June 23rd, 2023. We'll get right into it. Your warm-ups are going to be a normal scale, a G grace note scale, and then we're going to go into your high A doubling, high G doubling, F doubling. That'll be your warm-ups, okay? Regular scale. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, G grace note scale. Starting on the G. 1, 2. All right, we'll do the high A doubling. We're listening for the chili, like that. We'll start on the way. Ready? 1, 2. All right, next is your high G doubling or double high G, starting on the way. 1, 2. Okay, next will be our F doubling, listening for the consistency of the G grace note, blip, the sound, blip, blip, like that. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, we're calling that warm-up. Feel free to pause the video and redo any of those if you'd like. And otherwise, we'll move on. We're going to focus on the C doubling scale and the Burl scale today, and for the rest of the next couple of weeks. And for the C doubling scale, I think this just needs repetitions for you. It's on the top of page 77. I do want you to take a look at it just so you're reminded of what we're doing here. We're playing a G grace note to C, D grace note to C. We want to keep that consistency of the doubling or the grace note sound. I'm listening for the grace note durations. Another thing we're always listening for in doublings is that the first note in the doubling of the melody note of the doubling is audible, right? So that first C, the one after the G grace note, that first C needs to be audible before you lift the D finger. Okay, let's head into it. Get ready in the low A position. 1, 2. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2. Okay, pause the video and work on that on your own a little bit. And let's go ahead and move on to the next focal point of this week for the Burl scale. That's going to be on the top of page 78. I do want you to take a look at the Burl scale. This is a scale where we start on high A and go down, and we're playing a Burl. And if I'm remembering correctly, you are doing the tap pull style of Burl, which is just fine. It was sounding quite good. And the thing you want to be mindful of is that first low A, the first low A of the Burl must be audible. We sometimes get hasty with Burls, especially at the beginner stage, because we really want to work on the tap the closing of the chanter for the 2 G grace notes. But that initial burl before the G grace notes needs to be audible. So if I'm going from high A, we want it to sound. It's a clear low A before we go ahead and do the 2 G grace notes. So I want you to try some tap pulls or whatever version you're doing. And let's go ahead and do this nice and slowly, starting on high A. 1, 2. Okay, so you might have noticed that my actual burl itself is maybe a little quicker than yours, and that's okay right now. I want to make sure that you're sounding the first low A, though. That's the most important thing. One of the other things that we can do, well, let's just do it again, and I'm going to go a little bit slower. 1, 2. Okay, and you probably noticed we skip low A. We just do the burl from B and then the burl from low G. So go ahead and feel free to pause the video and work on that on your own. All right, the 2 new doublings that we added today were the E doubling and the D doubling. And they are on the preceding page, page 77. And I'd like you to go take a look at that. So go ahead and follow along, find that page. Actually, I was mistaken. It's there on page 76. Okay. At the bottom of page 76, the double E and the double D. Let's take a look at the double D first, because that's the one we did spend most of the time on. You can see that it's a G grace note to D, followed by an E grace note to D. All right? And it looks like this. You want to practice some with just staying in the D position and lifting your G finger and then your E finger like this. When I'm lifting those, I'm listening for that blip, 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 that they're both the same length. And if you need to remember what you're listening for, you can go back to the 5 grace note exercise if you'd like. Okay, listening to those blips. Try again, just a D doubling, D position. We're going to go G, E. 1, 2. All right, let's do the D doubling scale. We're going to start on low A. Nice and slow. 1, 2. Okay. One of the things you want to pay attention to in this doubling is with all doublings, make sure you're not making any crossing sounds. All right, let's do it again. D doubling scale from low A. Ready? 1, 2. All right, very good. Feel free to pause the video, do those on your own if needed. The last doubling that we're going to review today is the E doubling scale, and that's right above the D on this page. And we did take a look at it earlier, and we noticed, okay, it's a G grace note to E, F grace note to E. So the way that looks, just get in the E position, and we're going to go blip, blip, like that. 1, 2. always listening for the duration of your grace notes. So let's go ahead and try the E doubling scale from low A. Ready? 1, 2. Now, if any of those top hand doublings got a little confusing, we can just review those right now. So let's say you've just done the E doubling from D. You went. So here you are on E, ready to do the next note in the scale. Normally it would be E, but we're doing an E doubling, so we're not going to do it. I have to do it for me. We play F. So, okay, start on F. If you look at it, what happens in slow motion is for a little while, these 3 fingers are off when you're doing the G grace note. Try it with me. I just gradually sped that up. If you want to take a moment, pause the video, try that on your own. Go right ahead. You did this on your own in class, and when you didn't think about it too much, it sounded great. So I know you know how to do this. So let's go ahead and do the rest of the E doubling scale from E, or from F, excuse me. Did you catch how to do the one from high G? All right, just in case you forgot, you're going to go ahead and play a high G, and then you're going to do a thumb grace note to E. So it's going to go, right? For a little while in slow motion, all the fingers are off. So you did this very well in class as well. You don't need to really worry about making this big, right? Make it nice and small. Pause the video if you want to do it on your own, but that's what's happening from the high G. And then the from high A, it's just a half doubling. And if you ever get confused on those, do take a close look at the music and it will show you what to do, right? Here's the high G. There's a thumb grace note to E, F grace note to E. For the one from high A, you're on high A, you do an E, F grace note to E. So you can always decipher that if you do take a look at the music and you have a little bit of experience like you do. So that is going to be all for your doublings and scales for this week. I am going to connect you here at the top of the video here to a Cork Hill video. We're going to be taking a look at this. All right, have fun.